It's the Pete Sousa Show. Sports, Pete.
Get ready for epic savings at Best Buy. Right now, you can save up to $700 on select Alienware and Dell gaming products. Perfect for leveling up your gaming experience. Plus, grab the latest Android Google Pixel at an unbeatable price. Don't miss these incredible deals. Shop now at bestbuy.com and upgrade your tech today.
We definitely love our relationship and love Extraco. It's been an amazing experience.
They made the PPP process easier. They were reaching out to me saying, what can I do to help you? That made a huge difference because my stress level when we shut down to afterwards was night and day.
Our experience with Extraco has been phenomenal since the very beginning, so we love Extraco.
Ready to bring your vision to life? At Small Rig, every idea, design, and product is inspired by you, the creator. With our industry-first under co-design mode and the Dream Rig free customization project, we unite with global creators to turn big dreams into reality. Whether it's a cage rig or mount, Small Rig's versatile gear is built to elevate your craft. Small Rig, where your creativity meets our innovation. Go to smallrig.com.
At Rolls Rolo, we don't just sell wallpaper, we create cohesive, cozy spaces. Our deep understanding of design means every pattern, color, and texture is carefully chosen to complement your home. Plus, we use advanced technology and water-based inks for vibrant, eco-friendly prints, ensuring a healthier environment. Visit rollsrolla.com to transform your space today. That's ROLLSROLLA.com today. At 25 Home, our ultimate goal is to provide you with a transformative experience, making each day feel like it has an extra hour. We believe your home is more than just a space, it's a sanctuary where comfort, relaxation, and happiness thrive. Discover the difference at 25 Home today. Shop now at 25home.com.
Mean at home, you think? We're having some so bear with us today if you can, and if you're lucky that we continue to connect with haven't seen but Slovacek's obviously presents this great program. I thank our friends at D1, Daniel Stark Injury Lawyers, Crawford Austin Properties. I'm going to start with a little bit of pop culture, and then we'll get into a huge coaching change in the Big 12 and how it affects folks here in Central Texas and all the way down to the Dallas Mavericks, really. It's an interesting situation. Scotty, how are we doing with the connections? Do we know?
I think it's got your audio good because it's taking the video down a little bit.
Okay.
But that's okay.
All right, cool. And honestly, I mess with Mike a lot. He did a great job. Like he has made like some great strides. It's a hardwired in, but stuff happens. I told Mike that I was pissed because we originally had scheduled Shabuzi to be on today, but we told him to hold off because it was going to be a Zoom interview. I know Mike is a huge Shabuzi fan. Okay, back to reality. I watched White Lotus last night. Second episode, third season. I just absolutely love the show. It is one of the very few shows that I can remember watching, and this goes back to the first and second season as well, where there's not a moment wasted. And the story this year, if you've watched it, of course, we're back at another resort. I think as viewers, as people, as when you're watching these fictional TV
Go now.
now. I just sent a message to Mike that'll maybe light a fire under his rear end. No, Mike's the best. So I think we're back. Anyways, if you're just joining us, I was just talking about White Lotus, the third season, and there's not a wasted moment of the show. I really appreciate the fact that you get to go to an exotic location with these people. The guy who created the show, Mike White, does a brilliant job of exposing people for who they really are. And he truly, I am able to go exactly with him on all of these like journeys inside of people's minds, and which ultimately leads to them showing off their warts and their imperfections, some much worse than others. So far there's a group of girls that are there together. One of the girls is there are three girls probably right around my age who grew up together. And they've all separated. It's a story that we're all very familiar with. You grow up with these people. You're so close with them. You all go your separate ways, but you're close enough where you come back together every so often. One of the girls in the show, I think Michelle Monaghan is the actress who plays her. She's actually a famous actress on the show. So she's kind of like, you would say, the most successful of these women, but they're all very successful, the three of them. And it's just, you get to see how they can be catty. What I've seen in them is like, so far it's only episode 2. I've seen like some crappy behavior towards each other, but nothing like, no indictment that's like so crucial or critical or makes them look so bad. But now there's other people in the show, if you're familiar with it at all. Greg from last year is back. I won't get any more into that, but there's always a real whodunit with this show, and they've done it again. There was I don't want to get too into it because I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but I'll just say it is the best show on television for my money, and I know Christy's on me to watch Severance, and I do need to watch that. But this has got me. And HBO has done it again. I feel like we should live in a world where every Sunday night there should be an HBO show we can all watch and come back around and talk about. And White Lotus is that show right now, at least in my universe. So it was amazing. I really enjoyed watching it last night. There's so much going on in that show. And I really like it. And I'm going to have some people on to talk about it here over the coming weeks. Something that is like real life drama going on in college basketball. And it's indicative to all the things that are happening in college basketball now and how it's changing. Craig Smith was fired yesterday as the head coach of Utah basketball. Now, why is this? How does it actually affects me right away in a sense. And they're hosting Utah. And so it's a situation where I'm pumped to go out there. I worked with Craig Smith before and chatted with him before, but it's he's a good guy, but him losing this job is a reflection of where Utah is at right now and where college basketball is at. And I'll explain. So Craig Smith is in his 4th year as the head coach at Utah. He inherited a program that was just not very good at all. And he had done a great job coaching at Utah State in obviously the state of Utah. So he comes over, he's got ties in the state. You think he's going to have the ability to get money from donors, and he'd won a lot of games at Utah State. So you're feeling pretty good about the possibility that this guy is going to come over to your program and build you into a winner again. Remember, this is a Utah team under Rick Majerus. They went to Final Fours. They won a lot. It has not been that way. I mean, for a very long time. But people around Utah feel like they can be that school. So it was a shock to me to see that Craig Smith, who his team, Utah currently, was picked to finish at the bottom of the Big 12. Remember, they come over from the Pac-12. They just haven't played early in the season with the physicality you would need to win in the Big 12, but they have developed a little bit of more grit. They've started to play better together. They've started to sort of find their way around the conference. I think they're 7-9 in the Big 12, which is way better than anybody had predicted. But then when you see Craig Smith getting fired after a 2-point loss to UCF on the road, where his team had been winning, I think they won like 2 of their last 4. They beat both Kansas and Kansas State about a week and a half ago. And so they were definitely on an uptick on the floor. Now, off the floor is a whole different deal. I was listening yesterday to an insider for Utah basketball, and I think he works with KSL out in Salt Lake City. And they were doing, Utah is located in Salt Lake City. BYU's in Provo. So, if there's one program is a little closer to the big city, but I mean, Provo is I think 45 minutes away, not even maybe. So from Salt Lake City. So when you talk about Craig Smith, you have to look at this firing about what's going on off the court and behind the scenes. His relationship with donors had frayed, apparently, as it was reported by Steve Bartle. And the fraying of those relationships had hurt his ability to drum up money for NIL, right? And, down the street, you've got Kevin Young and BYU. And again, we're talking off the floor because Utah beat BYU on the floor this year, okay? On the floor, they beat them. And the only time they faced each other this year. And their records are not that much different. But there is so much different going on off the court at BYU. You hire Kevin Young. He's this NBA mind, right? He runs their entire program like it's an NBA organization. That is extremely attractive, not only to recruits, but to winning in college basketball right now, because as we're starting to see, this is just a different era we're in right now with college basketball and with it becoming more like a professional sport. That's really how it's being run. So there was issues with generating money for NIL, and when you get a big time donor from Utah who's going to cut off the purse strings because he doesn't like the coach, that's a problem for your NIL. So it's not necessarily like Fran Fraschilla was tweeting yesterday, and he brought up a very good point. Like, why would you take that job? There's no NIL money. And then this guy, Steve Bartle, who's the insider for Utah, stated another case. And Fran was saying that for any job, it's impossible to win. He was just saying, hey, some of these jobs are impossible. If there's no NIL money, I wouldn't want to take a job somewhere because it's just going to be impossible to win, especially in the Big 12. But this guy, Steve Bartle, was saying, hey, wait a minute. If Utah hires a coach that connects with the alum, connects with big-time donors, that NIL situation could change quickly. And now, if you believe what Steve Bartle is saying, I know what Fran is saying is true, but Steve Bartle is saying there's potential here for someone to make a lot of money for NIL just by being who they are, right? A coach's responsibility is not necessarily to run around and fundraise, although that has become way more of a responsibility than it used to be. But the NIL, ultimately now we're seeing wherever you're coaching, what you have in the NIL is now trailed back to what the college basketball coach and what that coach is able to do as far as he attractive to donors? Are they going to give money to NIL? Are these collectives going to go to bat for this coach? Again, according to Steve Bartle's reporting, Craig Smith's relationships with big-time donors had somewhat soured. And I think maybe he said, I don't know if soured's the right word, but you get the picture. The guys who write the checks weren't happy with the coach, and they're going to stop writing the checks. So this is a situation now where 4 years ago, when Utah hired Craig Smith, first they went to Alex Jensen. Now, Alex Jensen is an assistant coach with the Dallas Mavericks right now. Alex Jensen was an assistant coach for a long time with the Utah Jazz. Apparently, he still has a house out in Utah. He's still very connected there. He played for Rick Majerus when they went to the Final Four. By the way, reading up, I knew who Alex Jensen was because I remember him from playing for Rick Majerus. And I also remembered that he was the G League coach of the Canton Charge when I was calling games for the NBA Development League, it was at the time. And I was in Springfield, Massachusetts. So we played the Cleveland Charge, must have played him 100 times in one season. That's kind of how those minor league deals go. But Alex Jensen is somebody who is very attractive to donors around Utah. He's also extremely attractive to players because he now is just like Kevin Young in that he's an NBA assistant that would probably come to Utah and completely institute that NBA mentality, that NBA culture, and run it like a professional organization. A couple things really jump out at me here, and it's not a surprise that the fact that BYU and Utah, they're having another there's a shootout in the streets now, not just in the on the court, and this has been going on forever between these two schools, but the rivalry is such that folks up at the top for Utah are looking around and they're saying, wait a minute, Kevin Young is making amazing progress. This program is making amazing progress off the court. I mean, everybody in Utah is talking about the sexy new coach at BYU, Kevin Young. And, he's gotten a ton of NIL money. He got the number one prospect in college basketball is committed to going to play at BYU. Meanwhile, you've got a guy who I find to be exciting, but he's more of a video game player than anything. But, he's not like a prolific Umir, where Norshad underneath, he'll get you victories. Gabe Madsen's fun and he's exciting, but he'll shoot you right out of a game. And that's the best player that Utah has. Your best player, if you're Utah, is actually someone who I see can be a bit of a hindrance to you. at some points. So that's a problem. And Alex Jensen potentially, I mean, so much can change, right? But there's an opportunity for Alex Jensen to become the next coach at Utah. Back to my earlier point, he was offered the job like 4 years ago when he was with the Jazz, and he turned it down. Ultimately, they ended up offering it to Craig Smith. But apparently there's some scuttlebutt that he's a very attractive candidate and someone who they would like to hire there. And it seems like what's going on with the Mavericks would probably make you think, if you're Alex Jensen, why wouldn't you leave? And there's another thing too, another component to this. And this is now just like a global basketball thing, right? Like, if you're going to fire your coach, it's best you do it. And now, again, this is complete disregard for the guys on the floor. Like, you're saying to your players currently, we really don't have a ton of interest in you guys right now. I mean, that's kind of what it says to me, because you loved your coach. You've got 4 games left in the regular season. You've been winning recently. You have the Big 12 tournament. They're not mathematically eliminated, obviously, because you can go to the tournament, put together a run, and get into the NCAA. You can go to the Big 12, play well, and get into the NCAA. But they're also, like, they could beat Arizona. They could beat Arizona State. They could beat BYU again. They play them again at the end of the year. And all of a sudden, they could get into the tournament with 1 win or 2 wins in the Big 12. So this is not a team that's like, got 2 or 3 wins, and it's just like, let's blow it up, like a Kenny Payne situation at Louisville. Like, no, like, these guys are still in it. And again, according to the reporting from this guy, Steve Bartle, the powers that be wanted Craig Smith out of there because of the potential that he could get on a run. They had made a decision to cut him loose. This is what I've heard from sources that I know inside from the conference and from other schools. I got on good information that they'd made a decision to do this a while ago, and they just finally had done it. But with the transfer portal, when it opens up in like a week or two, and it opens up around the first round of the NCAA tournament. So it's like, if you're going to make a change, like, let's giddy up, let's go. Who I feel bad for, but no, again, just to kind of put a bow on that, if you're going to make a change, you want to get Alex Jensen and whoever your next coach is going to be as soon as possible and before the portal opens. Now, who I feel bad for that nobody's talking about, Josh Eilert. So Josh Eilert was an assistant for Bob Huggins at Kansas State, was an assistant at Bob Huggins at West Virginia, was like one of the guys you'd say, okay, he's Bob Huggins' guy, right? He was like a video guy at West Virginia. And he's been with Huggins for a long time. And last year or 2 years ago, right in the summer, Huggins gets a DUI, not his first, and he's dismissed from the team. This is after he had said some questionable things on a local radio station. And it's a bummer because I love Bob Huggins and I think he's great for basketball. But so Huggins he steps aside. So now Josh Eilert is the head coach at West Virginia for the interim. He's the interim head coach, right? But Huggins is like, hey, wait a minute. Like, I have a problem drinking. If I get cleaned up, I should be able to come back and coach this team. And so he's still living. So last year, Josh Eilert is coaching the team. Now he is like, Bob Huggins, like what you could say is like a protege or a mentee or whatever. Bob Huggins is pissed at his mentee that he took this job. And Josh Eilert saying, hey, I'm trying to do what's right, what I think is right and what's right for my family. So Eilert has a whole year where he's playing under this gigantic black cloud that is Bob Huggins, like showing up at West Virginia games, like literally like being there, like his name's being kicked around for a possible head coaching job again at West Virginia until a couple people like big time West Virginia brass just totally shut that down at the end of the year, probably right around this time last year. But so Josh Eilert had like a terrible situation to navigate through all of last year. Then he gets the head job, or he becomes like the lead assistant for Craig Smith in Utah. Good job. Utah's joining the Big 12. Who knows the Big 12? Josh Eilert, great guy, great coach. And now he's out there and the guy who hired him gets fired. And now he's back in the same position, he's back in purgatory. And there's no way he makes it out of purgatory here. Like there was a chance at West Virginia, but now it's like, no, they're going to move on to somebody else. So Eilert just kind of has to keep the placeholder and move on. Most coaches do have a clause in their contract if they get bumped to interim where they get kicked some more money. So that could be possible. So that could be good news for Josh Eiler, but also could mean nothing. But this, if anything, like I wanted to talk about this Craig Smith thing because this is a great example of how it's just a brand new day. Like literally, you beat BYU on the court. Your records are not that much different, but people are just zooming out and looking at both of these programs, and they're saying, wow, BYU is in a position to really elevate itself as a basketball program, right? Utah is in a situation where they're on a road to nowhere because Craig Smith had a plan this year to bring a bunch of guys together and win games, and it didn't go. Specifically in the Big 12, you've got to have a big swinging quote from the great Drake Toll, who I was texting with about this last night. I should have had him come on. But I knew enough about this situation. I just kind of wanted to go off on it. And I know Drake wouldn't care. I said, Drake, why did Utah fire Craig Smith? I've got them tomorrow at Arizona. I had them earlier on this season, and they've gotten better. Drake Toll, if you don't know, is the Locked On Big 12 host. He is a magician on the wheels of steel out there, and his podcast does amazing. Drake is an amazing guy. He's a lightning rod for controversy too, which makes him even more interesting. He also works with the Savannah Bananas. He's their like in-house announcer. Very, very cool deal. All right, so I asked him why they did this. He said, and he nailed it right away. This is what I was thinking. Pressure from BYU and other Big 12 schools. Genuinely, it's a who's you-know-what is bigger battle out there. And he said, that's the point I emphasize with it. This league, and this is a tip of the cap to the Big 12, this league breeds pressure like no other. And the arms race is on, and it's one that you can't fall behind on early. There's never been a shorter leash for hoops coaches in this league. If you prove you can't win and your program is serious about hoops, you're done. And then he said, harsh reality for the league's head honchos. But I think you see it with Bill Self too. They are still kings of the league, but fans and even national analysts are restless. No mercy in the Big 12. And he says, and I love it that way. But that's the point there too. Like Bill Self is like under fire at Kansas. Like it's crazy. It's bananas. Bill Self. I mean, they got knocked out of the top 25 for the first time in like 1,500 days yesterday. And people are like, hey, maybe it's time for Bill Self to go. So that was a long college basketball rant. If nothing else, I hope it brings a little bit of clarity to some of the confusion out there as to why this guy got let go. And I'm right in the middle of it because I'm going out there tomorrow. I have him, or going out there today. I have him tomorrow, and then I have him again on Saturday. So more time with Josh Eiler. Great guy. Yeah, we'll be back. We're going to be talking about, please bear with me, but when we come back, we're going to talk about Locked On Baylor and Locked On Big 12 and some of these other programs and just how they get people excited. Because as much as I love Drake, I think some of the tactics that he and Cam employ are ridiculous. We're going to talk about those, and we're also going to talk about the Sixers. So don't go anywhere.
Experience the future of secure private cloud storage with Internex. Protect your files with end-to-end encryption, ensuring your data stays private and accessible only to you. Enjoy seamless, fast storage without compromising security. Visit Internex.com today and take control of your digital life. That's INTERNXT.com today. Elevate your experience with Grenco Science, the leaders in cutting-edge vaporizers. Whether you're at home or on the go, our sleek, powerful devices deliver smooth, consistent hits every time. Quality you can trust, innovation you can feel. Grenco Science. Take your vapor game to the next level. Visit us at GrencoScience.com. At Terrapin Ridge Farms, they believe in the joy of effortless entertaining. Inspired by CEO Mary O'Donnell's mom and her legendary holiday parties, they've crafted a line of gourmet foods that turn any meal into a celebration. From savory jams to mustards, aiolis, and more, their products are made with love, bringing unforgettable flavors to your table. Whether it's a casual get-together or a special occasion, they make it easy to impress. Terrapin Ridge Farms, where great food and great memories come together. Visit them at terrapinridge.com. Terrapin Ridge.
Do you ever have a story that you just can't get out of your head?
One that you play the details of over and over with your friends?
Well, you've come to the right place. I'm Claire.
And I'm Susan.
And this is Justice Pending,
a weekly true crime podcast where we discuss tantalizing crimes with more questions than answers.
Thanks for joining us.
Cleanse your body of accumulated toxins and embark on your wellness journey at your own pace. At Global Healing, we provide premium supplements to help your body heal naturally. Combine that with OrganicHemp.com's top quality CBD for ultimate balance. Start your healing journey today at GlobalHealing.com and OrganicHemp.com.
Farmhounds offers natural treats and chews made with quality products that support family farms, regenerative agriculture, and humane farming practices. Give your dog the best with wholesome, organic ingredients that promote health and happiness. Shop now at farmhounds.com.
It all began with a simple idea, cutting handles off old ski sticks to create better pull-up bars. This sparked the creation of the revolutionary Angles 90 handles. After testing over 70 prototypes with 300 athletes, our patented handles were launched in 2018. We continue to push the boundaries of strength training. Join us in making your training more natural and effective. Visit Angles90.com to learn more and revolutionize your workout.
Ready to bring your vision to life? At Small Rig, every idea, design, and product is inspired by you, the creator. With our industry-first under co-design mode and the Dream Rig free customization project, we unite with global creators to turn big dreams into reality. Whether it's a cage rig or mount, Small Rig's versatile gear is built to elevate your craft. Small Rig, where your creativity meets our innovation. Go to smallrig.com.
Unlock a world of convenience with Mully Box, your one-stop solution for personalized subscription boxes delivered right to your door. Each box is tailored to your tastes. Experience the joy of surprises. Subscribe today at mullybox.com. That's MULLYBOX.com.
There you go. We're back here on the Pete Sousa Show. Good stuff in the first segment. Talking a little bit about Craig Smith, what's going on around the Big 12. Again, like I mentioned, sorry, Scotty. Thanks, Scotty. All kinds of issues this morning. So, but I was thinking about when I was talking to Drake last night, and then I turned on Cam because I did the Colorado Baylor game, and I was like, I want to see what Cam's saying about this game. You know, what's Bear the Truth guy? What's the question?
He said Drake bait or click Drake.
Click Drake. I love it. He is Captain Clickbait, and so is Cam. So you watch the teasers they give for that show. They are like when I was coming up, they would say the best teasers ever. Mike Greenberg on Mike and Mike was really good. You know, he'd be like, coming up next. And I think we're buffering it. Okay, we're back. Can they hear me? No, Scotty, I like your beard, by the way. It's getting bigger, huh? Can you show people?
Yeah. If our connection will allow me to. I never know if
no, I like it, dude.
I never know if the full beard's the way to go, or if I've kept it real high and tight at times too.
Well, remember, you're going out and selling stuff every so often, so keep that in mind.
Right.
But it's also like, I think you've got like it's a friendly beard.
Thank you.
Yeah. Like you look handsome and it's nice. Like it's not like, now you can get to a point where
And I have before.
where it's aggressive.
I have before.
I've had an aggressive beard too.
Yeah.
I kind of liked it. I really did. I enjoyed it. You're kind of like, people are like, what's this guy up to? I like that a little bit,
Okay, so maybe keep it full, but also tight.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're heading into the summer too, right? I mean, soon. No, I guess not right away.
Somebody told me a couple months ago the beard doesn't only keep you warm in the winter, but it's supposed to keep you cooler in the summer too.
Really?
I don't know how that works. I'm no body scientist, but
I think this is a dad joke. But
what I've been told.
Of course, it keeps you cooler. You look cool.
Shut up, Pete.
So, all right. So yesterday I was watching Drake. Or I was watching Cam, and he comes on. He's so depressed. He's just like, he's so depressed, and it's like a tease like this. He's like, "Is Mac Rhodes such a good AD that he hurt Baylor by keeping Scott Drew in Waco?" That's next on Locked On Baylor. No, he didn't say that, but that's kind of that's the kind of thing he would say. You know what I mean? Is Mac Rhodes too good of an athletic director to be at Baylor? And is that why he kept Scott Drew, who should no longer be our head coach? That's next, Locked On Baylor. Or you'll be like, you'll come back and it'll be like, Cam will be like, does Luther? No, hold on. Coming up, what Luther Vandross and Janet Jackson have to do with VJ Edgecombe's shooting slump. That's next, Locked On Baylor. You're like, what? All right. Coming up next, why Washington Avenue becoming a two-way street has decimated Baylor's ability to get defensive rebounds. That's coming up next. Like his delivery and his content, but also he hits on all of the, like, those first 80 characters when you're teasing something on YouTube, like that is everything. So like, that's why words like stunning, stunning, Scotty Swingler forgets to get milk at the grocery store, like that will be like, but you've got stunning in there. So you might have a shot at people that like coming across people's algorithm. So yeah, it's kind of, but I get such a kick out of that. I'm going to continue to work on that little riff I have. I was thinking about it this morning, but on Baylor.
Say Lady Bears go on a run and lose in the Sweet 16.
Oh, okay.
Give me the Cam Stewart reporting of the Lady Bears losing in the Sweet 16.
Coming up next, why Kim Mulkey and a lifetime contract might be the reason that Nikki Collin is driven out of town. That's next on Locked On Baylor. That's not good. That's not a good one.
It's not good, but it was also your most convincing one yet. It was also like the closest to reality.
How Nikki Collins' dog Scout played a huge role in Baylor being eliminated on the Sweet 16. That's coming up next on Locked On Baylor. It's not bad, right?
Coming up next, despite little page bugs, the Lady Bears were little bugs on Saturday.
That's not bad. That's not bad. Yeah.
Why I thought the Lady Bear, sometimes he gets that aggressive.
Yeah. Coming up next, why the construction on 35 is the reason that Baylor's women's basketball team can't get back to the Final Four. That's coming up next. Locked On Baylor. That's not bad, right?
We're going to have to wait 16 years for Nikki Collin
So Cam, by the way, I was saying I think we got bumped, but the guy at BYU, he didn't talk like that. Like I've listened to that guy's Locked On. He's not like out of his mind like Cam is. But I must say, I watch Cam. I watch Drake. Cam is a compelling figure. And he kind of grabs you with the YouTube as well. I have found that, like, his body language, he'll be like, and I don't think now, and I can tell you, although the teases are drummed up and complete fiction, that's real. Like Cam being upset and frustrating, like, coming up next, why my vision has actually gone down and I'll have to head back to the optometrist after this basketball season because of Scott Drew and Jeremy Roach. That's next. Locked On Baylor. That's not a bad one. That was a decent one.
Bear the Truth said, why Jeremy Roach is to blame for Bug's slump.
Coming up next, Baylor lost on the road to Colorado. That's next. Locked On Baylor.
Did you feed him that intel?
Huh?
Did you feed him that intel?
No, but that's legit. That should be the one because Angel Reese's value meal, Jaden Nunn ate it, and he got sick.
Yep.
Projectile vomit. Let's bear the truth saying before we go on one last.
Oh, I already read it to you, the Jeremy Roach thing.
Okay. All right. We're going to step aside, talk a little bit about Please Bear With Me, and I'm going to figure out how we're going to shoot the Sixers organization to the moon.
Nobody tells our stories better than our clients.
The difference is stark. I was rear-ended at a stop. I thought I was fine, and then once I got home, I realized it's a lot worse than I thought. I ended up having a ruptured disc. You say you're not hurting, and then an hour later, you're saying you're in all this pain. I just felt like most people would think that I was lying. That's when I decided to call Daniel Stark. I owe a lot to Daniel Stark. They really got me what I deserved.
The difference is stark.
Transform your workspace with Hanomi Ergonomics. From adjustable chairs to standing desks, we provide solutions for comfort and productivity, whether at home or in the office. Improve your posture, reduce strain, and work smarter. Visit us at hanomi.co today. That's HINOMI.co today. Unlock a world of convenience with Mullybox, your one-stop solution for personalized subscription boxes delivered right to your door. Each box is tailored to your tastes. Experience the joy of surprises. Subscribe today at mullybox.com. That's MULLYBOX.com. Unlock your full potential with On It, your go-to for premium supplements, fitness gear, and wellness essentials. Whether you're training hard, recovering faster, or just looking to feel your best, On It has the tools you need to perform at your peak. Visit Onnit, that's ONNIT.com, and elevate your mind, body, and spirit today. At Rolls Rolo, we don't just sell wallpaper, we create cohesive, cozy spaces. Our deep understanding of design means every pattern, color, and texture is carefully chosen to complement your home. Plus, we use advanced technology and water-based inks for vibrant, eco-friendly prints, ensuring a healthier environment. Visit rollsrolla.com to transform your space today. That's ROLLSROLLA.com today. At Tusane's, we understand that maintaining a healthy lifestyle can be challenging, especially in today's fast-paced world. That's why our mission is to make fitness accessible to everyone, anywhere. Committed to excellence, we adopt a user-centric approach guided by ergonomics and medical science. With a team of seasoned professionals in R&D, design, and manufacturing, we prioritize quality across our entire product line. Visit Tusains.com today and start your journey to better health. That's TOUSAINS.com.
Ready to bring your vision to life? At Small Rig, every idea, design, and product is inspired by you, the creator. With our industry first under co-design mode and the Dream Rig free customization project, we unite with global creators to turn big dreams into reality. Whether it's a cage rig or mount, Small Rig's versatile gear is built to elevate your craft. Small Rig, where your creativity meets our innovation. Go to smallrig.com.
Calling all Marvel fans, get Marvel Unlimited and unlock over 30,000 comics featuring your favorite heroes and iconic stories, all available to read anytime, anywhere. Whether you're into classic tales or the latest adventures, there's something for everyone. Don't miss out. Head to marvel.com/unlimited today and start your Marvel journey now.
We definitely love our relationship and love Extraco. It's been an amazing experience.
They made the PPP process easier. They were reaching out to me saying, what can I do to help you? That made a huge difference because my stress level, when we shut down, to afterwards was night and day.
Our experience with Extraco has been phenomenal since the very beginning, so we love Extraco.
Night to the Chicago Bulls by 32. So he needs to have surgery. So they're probably going to do something with him surgically. Who knows? This is such a shame. This organization, since this is 10 years now, more than 10 years, I should say. I worked for the Sixers. You know, Allen Iverson had just left. There was still a pride that Philadelphians had for the some of the legends involved. It's a totally different feel. When they decided to engage in the process and to tank for players like Ben Simmons, who was the guy from Ohio? I mean, we're talking about forgettable guys. The other guy from Duke, but you got Embiid, who Embiid. Nation really had to lose. That's all you did was lose, and it was okay. It was stuff that they would have. Friends of mine, like The Sixers used to be the hottest ticket in town. $10 to sit in the lower bowl. The organization, and we have known fans, people close to the team, that there's been something wrong with Joel Embiid. This is all the way back after they got in this, and it's a floundering organization. Like, you got Paul George. Like, Paul George doesn't play. Like, he's hurt a lot. He just doesn't play anymore. I'm sure Paul George is a great guy. Apparently, by all accounts, going on around the be worse than sucking and being on fire at the same time. That's terrible. Guys, is that they're born on third base and thought they hit a triple. Now, I'm not saying they didn't have rough upbringings or anything like that, or they didn't have someone to play. Things have to be going right in their life, on the court, within the team, and there's no more grit with this. Come to practice the game. Like, that's who we're talking about here. Nobody played harder. Nobody. And we got guys with the Sixers now who just don't play. Like, Joel Embiid has played as many games as he's missed, just about, in his overall NBA. Wilt Chamberlain, planet, and they got an NBA team that's an afterthought now, and they don't just suck; they're an embarrassment. And unfortunately, outside of a couple years that are now very clearly outliers, the Sixers have been a terrible organization.
Man, let's try to talk about Please Bear With Me tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah, we're
later,
going to table that.
This,
we're having all kinds of issues.
This internet is crazy.
So
today.
Thank you, everybody,
Sorry,
for sticking with us today. We've got Shabuzi tomorrow. We had to push him off. So Slovacic's name on this. We'll see you tomorrow.
It's the Pete Sousa Show. Sports.
We definitely love our relationship and love Extraco. It's been an amazing experience.
They made the PPP process easier. They were reaching out to me saying, what can I do to help you? That made a huge difference, because my stress level, when we shut down, to afterwards was night and day.
Our experience with Extraco has been phenomenal since the very beginning, so we love Extraco.
Nobody tells our stories better than our clients.
The difference is stark. I was rear-ended at 70 miles an hour. I was injured, had a concussion. The insurance company, they delayed. They were playing games from the initial conversation. They weren't going to help me. The biggest thing I learned through this is that you can't go through this alone. I called Daniel Stark. They were going to help me and everything was going to be all right. Daniel Stark got me 10 times the insurance company offered.
The difference is Stark.
Experience the future of secure private cloud storage with Internex. Protect your files with end-to-end encryption, ensuring your data stays private and accessible only to you. Enjoy seamless, fast storage without compromising security. Visit Internext.com today and take control of your digital life. That's INTERNXT.com today. Protect your online privacy with NordVPN. Browse securely, access content from anywhere, and keep your data safe with military-grade encryption. Whether at home or on the go, NordVPN ensures your digital freedom. Stay secure. Download NordVPN today at nordvpn.com. That's NORDVPN.com.
Farmhounds offers natural treats and chews made with quality products that support family farms, regenerative agriculture, and humane farming practices. Give your dog the best with wholesome, organic ingredients that promote health and happiness. Shop now at farmhounds.com.
Transform your workspace with Hanomi Ergonomics. From adjustable chairs to standing desks, we provide solutions for comfort and productivity, whether at home or in the office. Improve your posture, reduce strain, and work smarter. Visit us at hanomi.co today. That's HINOMI.co today. At Acasis, innovation drives us. Since 2008, we've been creating cutting-edge technology products that make your life easier. With a focus on performance, design, and customer service, we're here to help you work smarter, not harder. Join us on our journey to simplify your world. Visit acasis.com today. That's ACASIS.com today. We are Rogue Media Sports.